Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Tell the whole story again and again. Lamentations 3:19-24. I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I well remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I called to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. That's a portion from the Bible. Everyone has a story about life. Some people tell their stories through art, through poems, prose, songs, drawings. Have you ever been in the company of an elderly person, probably your grandparent, and just sit and hear some of the most beautiful stories of life, struggles, romance, loss, stories of the good old days? Some of the best stories are told when friends get together. Yes, I mean real friends. Those stories are raw, they are private. They demand that you listen and not say a word. Then there's a good movie, a life drama, one that ends with the good guy who wins and the bad people, they lose. Well, you can tell I love a good story. But I want you to tell me the story from beginning to end. Because a story is informative, a story has emotions, a story paints a picture, and I want to hear the whole story. The text today is just a short excerpt of a great story. This story might not sound like an epic drama. It might not seem like a bestseller. The writer does not assemble an audience, but his story is read by scores of people. His story is personal, and yet as you listen to his story, you find yourself connected to it. And after a while, you feel like this guy is telling your story. This story features two characters. It is a story of a dynamic relationship between these two people, or maybe I should say, between humanity and divinity. Let us pull up a chair and listen. We're catching up the story. Let's listen to what he's saying, telling of his misfortunes. He remembers the bad times, the days when things seem to have gone consistently bad, the days when it seems like it would never end. Maybe you can recall those times in your life when it seems as if nothing was going right. A broken marriage, losing a job, getting a bad diagnosis from the doctor, not being able to see your way out of an ongoing saga of misfortunes. I have been there, and I'm sure you've had those moments. Because life is like that. There are days when the dark clouds fill your skies, when it seems like all hope is gone and you cannot see anything. You cannot even imagine that things will get better. The writer says, that's me. But listen again as he says, in the midst of my looking back on those days, I have hope. Something tells him that things are going to get better. That's what hope is. Knowing in your heart that things are going to get better. Why? Because when I think of the goodness of God, it makes me want to tell my story. It makes me want to tell about his faithfulness. Because you see, faithfulness is consistent, caring, compassionate. That's God. A God who loves me. A God who loves you. It is seen in his love for me That love is awesome. It shows up like mercy. It proves itself in grace. In some difficult moments, I am reminded that God loves me. And that is why I'm here today. God's faithfulness is seen in his compassion. Have you ever had someone show you compassion? Someone who demonstrated kindness to you when you didn't expect it and when you are not able to repay? That is God. He is seen in my life daily. Think about it. You went to bed the night before, you fell asleep. While you're sleeping, you have no idea what is going on in the world while you are sleeping. Then you get awake. You know that you had no control over that. You rise up from your bed and you start about your day. Stop. Do you realize that some folks did not make it to this morning? Or in more dramatic terms, do you know that you had nothing to do with your waking up? That you don't have the right to wake up, but God made you wake up. The writer says, I see this feature of God every morning, every single morning. And then he sums it up. God, you have always loved me. You have always provided for me. You've always been there for me. God, all I can say is the simple truth. Great is your faithfulness. I know you have heard that song before, but listen, my friend, this is not fiction. This is not a Hollywood movie. This is the story of your life, the story of my life. And the writer of the text did what you and I should do. He told his story, the whole story. Tell your story, my friend. Don't leave out the bad parts, but tell your story about a God who has been faithful, faithful, faithful over and over again. Every day he renews his faithfulness to you. Tell the story, the whole story, again and again.